So it is my pleasure to bring you your first contestant for the day. Hailing from Finland, of course, and of course, it is Team Acer as well. Playing Protoss in the red trunks to the southwest of Shakuras Plateau. Let's hear it for Elfie. Versus his opponent coming in all the way from Korea, and of course the Grand Prix winner that got him this qualification spot. So he's perhaps fought harder than anyone else to get here and has an awful lot to prove. He is, of course, hailing from Team Slayers in the blue trunks, playing Terran to the southeast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Tasia.
Did you hear that, or was it just me? When we introduced Elfie, it sounded like a cat got strangled.
Don't mention cats in front of Elfie, especially not violence against cats.
I know, especially because he loves the cats. But
yeah, of course, who the hell doesn't?
It's like, oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, so Slayers Tasia, as you said, qualified through the ESV Grand Prix, qualified that, supported by Asus, of course, and Republic of Gamers. Got him here, which is a great. We've seen many players before that have qualified for tournaments, and the most notable one would have been Morrow in 2010 when he qualified for IEM and then won it.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Slayers Tasia, you know, he could probably do the same. Nobody's going to put that past him, but Elfie standing in his way now. Slayers Tasia opening up with a barracks and gas here compared to the usual of what we usually see here, barracks gasless expansion. So he does have that option. Reaper expand, even Marauder expand, and putting a bit of pressure on to Elfie, who has opened up pretty standard so far and into a lot of Chrono Boost into his Nexus so far, and probably continue that way.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit careful against Elfie, and he knows it. He's going to play a very standard, straight-up game, I would imagine, against his Finnish opponent. Elfie will have prepared against Tasia, I would imagine, whereas Tasia, perhaps not so much. It may give Elfie an edge, and this constant underestimating of Elfie is a very, very silly thing to do, because he's placing highly in a lot of tournaments.
Absolutely, and as you said, you know, Code S quality player right here for sure, and he did have a very rough time in Code S. Who doesn't, to be honest? But he's still in Code A. He's in round of 24, looking very good. The thing is, though, that he's such a good player. He's 17 years old. Slayers Tasia is a very young individual, but I really don't think any nerves will come into play, but definitely a lot of potential here, and he has thrown down a factory. And, well, is he even taking lessons, man? You know, all we're going to see a very early aggression build coming out here from Tasia. But on the other hand, it looks like Elfie just going ahead and has taken a second gas, but that did go unscouted here. So he has the option to be aggressive, but he does build a sentry, so he doesn't rush straight up to any form of tech. And we'll see what Elfie has planned here, whether it will just be a one gateway double gas expansion. But Tasia so far has just built a Hellion. He hasn't taken the second gas and throws down a very early starport here, which looks like we are going to be seeing that Medivac combination with Hellion and Marines, which could do a lot of damage if Elfie does go this one gate expansion.
Such a good map for it as well. It really, really is. You've got a lot of escape routes. And Elfie's got some nice positioning on his pylons there. Even a Stalker just waiting in that position for anything that comes in this direction. He knows, of course, this is not the timing to do it, but might as well be secure. He's going to go with the expansion right now. And Elfie he's not a fast player by any stretch.
He's teching up, man. This is going to be really, really bad for Elfie because he's taking a gamble. He's like, all right, I'm just going to rush straight up, and probably rushing up all the way to Colossus. Really wouldn't surprise me here. But at the same time, we're going to see Marine pressure from the front, taking map control away from Elfie, potentially having all of Elfie's units on the natural, but then we're going to have this Medivac drop into the back. And because he's teched up so incredibly fast, he won't have the gateways out as he should have. That means he won't have the units necessary to defend this, but all is still possible. He could somehow see this or predict it coming. Force fields are still pretty good in defending against this kind of stuff if you can land the right ones.
I can't imagine that he'll be thinking that Tasia just going to sit on his little one base and not do anything. And here comes this drop. 3 Medivacs. Currently goes unscouted. There is a Stalker there, but it's slightly out of vision range. Now, it will have seen it coming in, but he's got to react to this very, very quickly. Here come the sentries. Can he grab that force field? Oh, the force field blocks off one of them. 2 more come in from the back. Not so much damage done as of yet. He's bringing all of his units off of the line, but taking quite a bit of damage here from that drop. And finally eliminates those Hellions. We can have a look at how much damage was done there. He keeps that secure, and 6 workers killed. It wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, if I was Elfie, I'd take out a gas and I'd probably just Chrono Boost heavily into the Nexus to replenish the units he lost, because the command center's not even finished yet. So actually, that wasn't that bad for Elfie, who got the... Oh, maybe he's going to get the Medivac as well.
Medivac, nice, very nice. Elfie's going to be very happy about that one. And nice bit of luck, really. I mean, I have no idea why that Medivac was there. There was no reason for it to be there.
Absolutely, and Elfie so far hasn't spent that much Chrono Boost into probes. He's at 28 versus 29, but he gets a full scout. He sees everything right here, and that is 3 barracks now. Another one will jump on there, but a Banshee is here to help to do more harassment and probably just switch up with Medivacs again shortly, because he doesn't want to stay on Banshees. But Elfie sees everything. He's Chrono Boosting into the Nexus, saying, all right, cool, that's good. That's not bad, man. And now he's going to be able to defend against this incoming Banshee very, very easily.
He shouldn't have a problem with it, honestly. It doesn't have the ability to do a huge amount of damage. He's going to come around the back. There are 3 Stalkers prepared for it. He spots it immediately. Does Elfie know where it is? He's just refusing to move from this position.
Oh, he doesn't want to lose too many probes here. He can take 1 or 2 losses, but nothing more than that. 1, and he's going to be able to get a second one here for sure, but that's not too bad for Elfie. I mean, of course, you have to consider the cost of the Banshee, the tech path that it's thrown Taeja down. So those 2 probes, that's okay for Elfie.
Yep.
And meanwhile, Taeja now, there's the reactor onto the starport, so he's going to be producing just that bio ball very shortly here. But let's have a look at the income tab. It's currently equal between both players, but a lot of Chrono Boost has been gone down in for Elfie, and there's that early robotics bay here. And that, if not hit with a good timing from Taeja, could prove difficult for him to actually fight against.
Yeah, Elfie does love his Colossus, and Banshee taking significant fire there from the ground. Elfie looking to try and trap it if possible, but there is enough room to maneuver here. Oh, Taeja with a nice little bait and switch. He swings around instead of going back to the other mineral line and takes a little bit more fire from the ground, but the Banshee's got 6 kills, so it's pretty much paid for itself now, and he had an opportunity there to actually get in, but this Banshee has proved its worth for the moment and has given him some great information.
Yeah, it actually just flew across everything and now saw the robotics bay. So after these 2 Medivacs, maybe he'll try to squeeze out 2 more, but he will stop Viking production immediately. Probably even throw down a second starport, knowing that his opponent is solely going for these Colossus on these 2 bases. And all Taeja needs to do, clear out the Colossus, and then the game becomes very easy. Nice pick off there of the Observer that doesn't scout anything been added on, so he doesn't get these 2 extra barracks scout, and now the Observer's gone. He's going to go ahead and take full advantage of the lack of map control Elfie has, and he will be deploying in the main base. 3 Stalkers is not enough to defend this, and
no, it's not.
I mean, even if he lands everything down, they can easily stim, pick off a key structure here, and then back out once again.
Yes, he can. Elfie's not in the right position to intercept this. He sees it on the map, and the Marauders immediately go straight for it. Another warp in comes in from Elfie. He's already taken significant damage to his army as it is. There's being warped in at the side right there, but here comes the Colossus to clean that up, and no real damage done right there. I don't even think he lost a Stalker.
Yeah, that was actually very good defense there by Elfie. Picks up a lot of damage on the Medivac also, but there's only 2 Medivacs. That's it, and energy was used there again, and a lot of Vikings are now in production, and Elfie throwing down everything, juggling everything on 2 bases now as he throws down the Templar Archives also. So that is very gas intensive if he wants to throw down Templar to go straight into Archon. I really don't feel that he has enough time to get Storm, because Taejas will be pushing out before, but Zealot charging a few Archons in the mix with Colossus, he's a bit of everything. And that's always the difficult part as Terran is, how do you counter everything? But the thing is that everything won't be in a big quantity because he doesn't have the gas to support it.
Of course, and it also means that the more kinds of units you've got in your mix, the harder it is to control. You've got more abilities you need to deal with. The change of ranges between them. Archons, for instance, require quite a bit of micro because they've got to be at the front. If they're in the middle, they're absolutely useless. So it does require a significant amount of effort. We've got an interesting attempt here by Taeja, which is going to get picked up very easily by that Colossus of Elfie now with the extended thermal lance upgrade available. It's not too worried, but there are a lot of Vikings coming in from this direction that could be nasty. Some damage being taken on the shields. Yeah,
this is a beautiful play here by Elfie, and he's going to tech switch out of Colossus now, forcing a lot of Vikings to be made by potentially a nervous 17-year-old here, maybe going to overmake in Vikings, and then he's just going to switch out straight into Storm as scan goes down and the tech has been revealed of the Templar Archives, and a Ghost Academy immediate reaction here from Taeja. And Taeja's doing still good though in this game. He's got a lot of time because the army of Elfie swinging in every direction is very small because of it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of it. It's 94 army supply to 59. The only reason that Elfie hasn't taken significant damage is because Tasia hasn't brought the hammer down yet. This third, no, you're not getting that, I'm afraid. And that means he's been restricted on those bases for the longest time. Another drop down here. It might end up getting cleaned up, but he does lose the Colossus, and it is a two-pronged attack, forcing a cancellation. Elfie tries to take out that Medivac, which slows down, but he doesn't get it. Oh, shame he didn't have Blink there. He could have actually picked that off, and Tasia gets out with the majority of his forces intact.
And Taja's reading the game very well. He stopped his Viking production, understanding that the switch had got over to Templar, but all of a sudden,
Elfie
goes back, man. He goes back to Colossus here, trying to find a weakness in an opponent's defense and reactions against what Elfie could potentially have. So that's what Elfie's really banking here for, to have more of one thing than the opponent has defense for. But he's going to struggle to get this third base up, because as soon as he deploys and leaves units from his main base, Taja's going to be all over it, man. He's going to be dropping, but currently he looks like he's gearing up for quite a big push very shortly. Ghosts are in the way, +1 armor soon to be completed, and he's not going to let Elfie take an easy third base by no means.
No, he's got a Marine there to have a look for it, and that third base there is going to get cancelled again by the looks of it. The army of Tasia is massive at the moment. Oh, it wasn't cancelled either. That's a big loss right there for Elfie. He really needed that, and is now taking quite a lot of fire on that army. Warps in additional units, pylons cancelled left and right, and this is looking a bit ugly for Elfie at the moment. He is behind economically, his army is smaller, the third base is well established, and he's lost more as well.
Oh man, Taja's just playing so clean. There's no mistakes in his play. He's never getting supply blocked. He's got amazing mechanics and macros we're seeing here, and Elfie is just getting outclassed at this point in time. Can he do something to turn it though? He has a lot of storms, which can obviously be the game changer, but there's ghosts spread out here, and EMPs are surely going to come in.
Yeah, the storm goes down on the Vikings. Good damage being done. Here comes the chargelets coming in. The storms land as well, doing significant damage, wiping the ghosts out, and now he needs to back off. He can't deal with this until he gets charges back. His Colossus falls, the Archon slaughtered as well, and Tasia took a lot of punishment, but looks like Elfie took a lot more.
Yes, Taja's making a lot of units, man. He's at 1.7 supply, 170 that is. He's got the third base easily up and running, and Elfie's still stuck on 2 bases. He's teched down a lot of different routes. He's also getting 2-2 upgrades as well, and he's just very Zealot heavy, and he's got 1 storm available here.
That's not going to be enough. That's nice. The storm misses completely, and the Zealots go right into it. This is not looking good for Elfie. Tasia is able to consolidate his forces and smash forward. Another storm does do significant damage since he ends up sitting in it. Snipes going off, which do absolutely nothing, because Snipe is rubbish now, but whatever. The Elfie is actually holding on just, but that was actually significantly punishing for Tasia, honestly. I'm not sure he's quite adapted to the fact that Snipe is awful yet.
And he's going to clean up the third base. Most important thing here, get rid of that, and everything's okay.
Needs the cancel. There's the cancel. And Elfie, unfortunately, losing a Templar and a Stalker in the process. He's taking a lot of punishment here. There's another cancel coming in as well. And Tasia's got a trust fund, which isn't really all that useful if you happen to be Terran. He needs to actually keep up with building units here. More ghosts now moving in, another ghost taken out, and Archon was constructed there. And one thing we haven't looked at is the upgrades, and Elfie now has an edge. He's got +2/+2. He's holding on, but he's drained so badly. He's been restricted on 2 bases. He's pretty much mined out. He is way oversaturated on his main mineral line.
Yeah, it's 2 base, well, can you even call it 2 base now? The main base is about to run out, the natural shortly, against 4 base. Tasia now taking the center of the map, and is going to be able to add on more production facilities, adding on 3 more barracks, and that count, that income, that rate of production is just going to skyrocket very shortly. And even though the upgrades are in advantage of Elfie for the next 30 seconds or so, EMP and Observer get rid of it one way, but he's going to be so strong in this fight. He's just got too much stuff, and there's not enough from Elfie here. He has 2 High Templar with 2 Storms available very shortly, but this is difficult, man. Taja's going to drop a significant amount of his army in the main base, but at the same time still has more than Elfie on the ground.
Yeah, there's the cancel. He did also expand up to the top as well, but it's in sight range of that 1 Marine that's been there the entire game. It's unfortunate he didn't clean that out. This drop is big, it's stompy, it's scary, and it's perfectly timed with +2/+2, which is right now in effect. Damage. That's what Tasia is offering here. And unfortunately, he's also having to deal with this engagement over here. And Taja's force is certainly smaller, and a lot of ghosts have just been annihilated, but the production is getting absolutely smashed in the center. Reinforcements are coming in, and that army just simply is not big enough. And look at that, Taja just having his wicked way with Elfie's base.
Yeah, wow, Taja rolling over Elfie.
There's the